Hi guys, this is a follow-on from my other video that I did a week ago, which was titled Who Moved My Traditional Marriage. And basically what I did was I focused on a text called Who Moved My Cheese and used that as the framework for what I was discussing on that time. So here's a little bit a sort of abridged version of that, so we can move on to what I would like to talk about today. And that is safety in schools. So, and I've used those words deliberately. So, what I was talking about with Who Moved My Cheese, and I'll switch over and get the book. Okay, there you go again. Basically what happens is it's a story about change management. You have four characters, there's two mice, two human-like creatures. The two mice are called Sniff and Scurry. They scurry off and sniff and scurry off for change when change has to occur, or they look for change when things need to be improved. Then you have the human-like characters, that is Hem and Haw, who are those who are more resistant to change. So Hem being the most resistant, in the sense that Hem has always been this way, always have been this way. They will use things like it's always been traditionally done this way. And will not move on. They see it's always going to remain the same. And of course the world doesn't, but as far as they're concerned, yes it does. Then you have the Haws, who are Haws, as I keep on saying, unfortunate name, but it can be misunderstood and mispronounced. They are the people who are seeing change happening, but they can be scared of change and unsure about what to do. The people who are easily swayed by hems at times, because they say, well, it's going to be this way, so they have a security thinking that's the case, but they start realising that it's not going to be that way, and they're not sure how to make the next move. It's changed more difficult for them, and that's, and all of us have been on one of these characters somewhere along the line in our lifetime. So to say I've always been one or the other, rubbish. We've all been those things, all those characters which we actually have said, oh, hang on, no, I want it to stay this way. Or, I know it's changing, but I don't know how to change. So, what I want to talk about today, this is not necessarily for the sniff and scurries. So if you're one of those sort of characters who, looks at change and moves forward to change and explores it and does all those things about not just doing change for change's sake, but change for a reason, and usually for a positive reason, then this probably isn't for you, but you're welcome to listen anyway, and I'll be interested in your comments. If you're hems, if you're a sort of person who has to be this way, it's only been this way, I'm not willing to listen to what you have to say, or if I do, I'm just going to put you down, and I'm just not interested whatsoever. Well, stop stressing yourself out. Move on. Get yourself a beer, whatever, go somewhere and settle down, because really, why are you stressing yourself out? You have no intention of trying to change, you have no intention of trying to actually listen. That's an active process which is very difficult for you. I understand that. So I'm giving you the option to just move away. If you're in that group that finds it difficult, those people who identify as Haws, or Haw, is actually this is for you. Okay. So what I want to talk to you about today is about schools that are safe. And part of marriage equality has been this argument about, if we have marriage equality, then next minute we'll be forcing this safe schools program, which is meant to do all these manner of things to our children. And really, at the end of the day, there's a lot of stuff in there which is absolute bunkum. But I want to sort of move back a bit, roll back a little bit further. I think we've got to find some common ground here. The common ground is schools should be safe. It doesn't matter who you are, you should be able to go to school and be able to learn in a safe environment. And yes, I have heard those arguments, like you, that everyone has been bullied. Well, that's not true. Not everyone's been bullied. The bullies bully, the victims are being bullied. And they're bullied for various reasons. Maybe it's because they're large, or they're skinny, or they're tall, or they've got certain features which people find it nice to, or good to actually make fun of, which it isn't funny when you're having to live that. Okay? But we're focusing on school safety for LGBTI young people and those people who are not yet identified and are coming to terms with who they are. And, we're going about these labels, but really, we've got to let people label themselves. We're not here to do that for them, okay? We can help them along the way, but at the end of the day, it's up to that person to decide how they wish to call themselves, okay? With kids, it's very difficult because they're going through a lot of changes in their lives. And like some of us already knew that we were gay when we were very, very young. Some came out a little bit later. Some of us had an idea, but we never really had acted upon it. There's a lot of variations of a theme, and the same thing in the straight world. Not every straight man and woman was ready to have a relationship at 11. Sometimes not even at 18. Some not even at 25. You're all individuals and you vary. There is no specified time when you must have done this or done that, okay? So we're all on the same pathway. It's just we find out that with LGBTI young people, they are between 6 to 14 times more likely to self-harm, all because of discrimination, bullying, harassment. It's just, and that is disgusting. That is disgraceful, and there's no need for that. So we need to make schools that are safe. Now, there's a lot of literature out there, and I'm going to try and put some references attached to this video so you can look at it for yourself. Because I think at the end of the day, you don't have to believe me, all right? I wasn't sure about this myself, so I looked it up myself to make sure, what is this about and what does this mean? So when politicians, and we obviously always trust politicians, but some of us have decided in this case that we do, because we, for some specific reason, we have done that, and really, what have we done? We've been misled, because all the literature coming back, all the factual information, all the data, all the real information, not the propaganda, not the hearsay, not the gossip, not the this happened here, this happened there. When you actually look at the data, the raw information that came out, the program to make kids safe at school, that was called the Safe School Program, was just to do that. Now, first of all, it's a voluntary program. There's no mandatory requirement for any school to take that up. It's also a resource. So it's not part of the curriculum, okay? That's a different thing. The curriculum is set by the National Board, I believe. So that's set, okay? That's not part of this. This is about making it safe for children to learn in the school environment and trying to open up those minds to say, well, actually, difference is okay. And really, by looking at this difference, can actually impact on other people as well. Those people who don't identify as LGBTI, but are being teased for other reasons, because of disability, because they're too tall or whatever. This may help them too. It's important for us to become educated about this. Okay? The Safe Schools program has no connection to marriage equality. They're two different things. The Marriage Equality, or the Marriage Act, is a federal act. The state runs the schools. Now, they're totally different things. There's no linkage there. No matter how many people want to try and put this tenuous link in there, there is no link. Because not everyone who gets married has children, so where would the link be? There is no link, legally or otherwise. Okay? All Safe Schools does is look at being safe for kids who identify as LGBTI or who are questioning, to be able to go to school and stay there and learn. Now, I can always still, I think, somehow hear people saying, well, we always got bullied at school. They just got to toughen up. No, because that's the sign of either someone who has been abused and has sided with the abuser, or is actually a bully themselves. Because anyone who's actually endured bullying would not wish that on another person. You cannot tell me that if you have been bullied at school, you think it's okay to bully another person. Because you know what bullying is like. You can identify what it was to be teased and ridiculed and put down and made to feel worthless. You know those feelings. You may want to try to forget them, but the fact is, you know what they are. So why would you want that done to another person? Why would you want that done to another child? Doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense unless you are a bully, or you have learned through your culture, and that's not just ethnic culture, but your culture in your home environment, that violence and abuse is actually is okay, and it's not. It's not okay. You know, we are telling people domestic violence is not okay. Family violence is not okay. Okay? You cannot, no, it's just not okay. So you need to maybe think about this and think, well, actually, those feelings, I remember them, and I don't want to do that for another person. So how do we make it safe for kids at school? I'm going to suggest you look this stuff up yourself, because I find that it doesn't matter how many times people tell you, and I think that people have got angry about it, and I think people have got really distressed about it. It doesn't seem to make any sense or make any difference to people. The hems are always there going to say, well, no, this should be this way, and always find some excuse to say that is acceptable when it's not. And then and others are trying to say, well, let's move on. Let's try and make this a better place for ourselves, for our kids, for our grandkids, for our nephews and nieces. So again, the links are going to be down the bottom. I'm going to try and put them there for you to do some easy research, but you can always do it yourself. There is Google, so Google it, okay? But you need to look at what that information is. Now, where does it come from? Does it come from a reliable source? Now, you may say because it comes from an LGBTI source, it's not reliable. Well, I can then counter that and say if it comes from a religious source, it's not reliable. So you need to look through the fact and the fiction, okay? So there are some references that can do that for you. Now, I do recommend you reading Benjamin Law's quarterly essay on this subject. Again, I'll try and put the reference in the bottom of this video to help you. Now, Benjamin is a gay man, but what he's done a lot of investigation, and he has got the evidence there to support what he's saying. So you can purchase it online. You can do it through Amazon or whatever. It's only about less than $10, and you can download it. You know, it probably might be worth reading it before you start condemning people about things that you don't have the education about yourself. So I'm not going to go on about this too much, because I think Hawes, you need to do the work. I'm sorry, but I've given you some information now. I'm trying to help you think about this, but I think you need to do that work now. You need to follow on and say, well, hang on, I am going to look at this a bit more. And if it takes you a little bit more time, then, well, so be it, you know. But if it's important, if you're going to base your vote on marriage equality on something that's not even connected, then you probably need to know what you're talking about. You know, have that respect for those people to actually check it out first, and not be caught up in the hems who want to persuade you that the world needs to be in their very, very old ways, okay? The world's moved on, we're seeing that. So, look, I'm going to not say more than that now. You have to do a bit of research, and good luck. And hopefully it'll help you open your mind a bit more. Thanks very much. Bye.